All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Walking Purpose. This is episode 11. Walking Purpose is all about mental health, all about growth, all about males all around the world talking about mental challenges, whatever they've been through in life, uplifting the next guy around the world pretty much. I am Craig Cooper. I'm the founder of Uplift Kings, and I'm here with one of my closest friends in the world, my brother, my gym partner. We've been
Yeah,
friends for like I don't know, 20 something years, I feel like.
probably a little bit longer, but yeah, we'll go
Like
ahead. We're gonna start off at 20.
we literally grew up together, and this is a great man. I definitely had him in mind when I first started this. His name is Chester Hall. Chester, feel free to introduce yourself and what you got going on currently.
Yeah, so my name's Chester Hall. I'm 38. I'll be going on 39 later this year. Father of three,
Yeah.
16, 14, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, four. Um, Currently a dispatch at the National Gallery and everything. Former vet. I've done all types of jobs in my life. My brother, uncle, yeah, a father, a friend to many,
Yeah.
an ally to a lot of people. A lot
Yeah.
of people who are out there fighting for what's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good point, bro. Speaking of fighting for what's right, and what's your current mindset of what's going on in 2020? Because this 2020 has been a lot. How do you feel like right now currently?
um, One thing I've learned, as I get older, is that it seems like as much as you try to plan, the unexpected always pops up.
Sure.
So I'm sitting here making plans for 2020, and here we go with this pandemic. Who would have ever thought?
Right.
That's like reality hits. When you've been comfortable you've been comfortable living, not having to worry about this, or this, and then when it hits, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like we can't go out to party. We can't, just go hang out at the mall.
Yeah.
Now I got restrictions. Now I got to worry about my kids and tighten them up and tell them like,
Right.
hey, you can't just do whatever. Now we got to be, safe and focused.
Gotta be safe and focused. It's funny because we was together counting down a new year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, I said we were all together counting down New Year. Then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we were supposed to go on vacation this summer.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
your
Supposed to be taking
vacation
trips and doing a lot of things, man. Like 2020 has been a challenging year, but I feel like 2020 can also bring out the best in people in a sense. It can bring out so many entrepreneurs. Some people starting new whatever they're doing. What's your greatest achievement in 2020? Or whether it's something small, something big, whatever you've been doing. I know you've been skating with it.
That probably is my newest passion.
Oh,
I
I need to do
started
that.
roller skating. I started roller skating probably about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday I rolled my ankle, but the crazy thing is that I'm still sitting here with this mindset like I can't wait till this thing heals so I can go ahead and get back out there.
Yeah.
And keep moving forward on it, because I was at first, like when I threw them on, I was baby deer legs and everything, and I stayed with it, and throughout the days and everything I just started getting better.
Yeah.
And at some point, fear hit me when I was trying to hit this hill and yesterday, and it was like, okay, I know what not to do. When I get right, I won't make that mistake again.
Were you teaching yourself?
Yes, I've been teaching myself since day one. I've I would say I attempted to roller skate when I was in middle school, hurt myself bad, and was embarrassed because I was falling in front of a bunch of students and everything, and I didn't pick up roller skates till I was grown, like in my 20s. And even still, I was still nervous, and like something just told me like, look, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna get it done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I did, and here I am now.
That's a great point, because I'm looking at your videos. I'm like, dang, I need to do that. I said you're on day 10, I think. I forget what day you're on, but I haven't watched it.
It'd be day 13. The day 13
Yeah,
one,
okay.
post yet because that's the one where I injured myself, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it up there and be like, hey, day 13, I'll be back at it next week.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good metaphor for 2020. You're starting something new. You're starting something that can be scary, and you're starting something that can be foreign to you. You don't know what you're doing. So since you kind of make your mistakes as you're going on, and you kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna keep going regardless. And that's something that a lot of people are learning. I'm learning myself for just doing this.
Right.
You know, looking at my first videos, like, I shouldn't have said that. Like, you know what, keep it. You know, it's like the more you do it, the better you get at it, and that's a good lesson for 2020. That's a huge metaphor of just finding a setback or finding something great that you want to do and facing that challenge head on. You know, proud of you, bro.
No, thank you, man. Thank you.
Amazing. Before we get started, and I ask you how you feel about 2020. I always ask my guests about how they tell their story. Have you been through a setback in life, or like mental health, or as depression, or suicide, or anything in your life that you care to share your story pretty much?
I had quite a few setbacks or bouts of depression. Being bullied as a kid, being the heavy set, the fat kid, in the group of friends and everything. Granted, when we grew up and everything, I know it was all love and everything like that, but outside of our circle, when we go to school, it's like, oh man, here we go. I got to deal with the bullies cracking jokes about my weight and stuff and everything. So there was that. My parents, they helped me through it. They kind of pushed me to get into martial arts. So when we lived in Carriage Hill, when we all lived in Carriage Hill and everything, and they were doing the free classes at the rec center there and everything, my parents, they pushed me to go ahead and sign up for it.
Yeah.
It built confidence, discipline, and everything. Made me feel good about myself.
Yeah.
But how can I say? If people keep saying that a horse is a duck, and it go from 10 people saying a horse is a duck, then 20 people saying a horse is a duck. After a while, a crowd, you'll start thinking like, well, is it really a duck? So people like, oh, so when people like, oh, okay, it don't matter if you do martial arts, you're still fat. And, no matter how much weight you lose, you're still fat. So it's like, how can I get past this? How can I get past it?
Okay.
It's hard. It was hard. So I dealt with the fat shaming for quite some time. And it's insane because now in this day and age, the body shaming is like, you better not call nobody fat at all. Like, don't even try. Like, I say, so the bullying has been shut down. It's like a group of people would jump up on that bully and be like, hey, you're wrong. But back then that wasn't the deal.
It was so
it's
hard.
Like, it was like, fend for yourself. Good luck, or try to crack jokes back at that person.
Yeah. Wow, that's true.
Yeah. So I got through that and everything. My confidence finally built back up like 11th grade high school. I had joined the baseball team and everything. My body started leaning out and all that stuff and everything. Started feeling a little bit better and everything. Wasn't as heavy as I used to be and stuff. I joined the military at 17 after I graduated. My parents kind of pushed me into that. My father, he's a former vet. He did 20 years as a corpsman in the military and everything. So I'm a Navy brat. Been around it all my whole life. After I finished school, I wanted to be a graphic designer. But because I didn't have the credentials nor the experience, nobody would hire me. One, you're 17, you just got out of high school, you have zero experience. We don't care if you can draw. And I'm like, wow, I'm a really good artist, but you don't want my work? And you don't want to hire me, So that shot me down and everything. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not as good as a drawer as I thought I was. And that messed with me for a long time. It actually it kind of pushed my skills back and I stopped drawing.
Okay.
But my parents, they they called up a recruiter and everything and said, hey, why not join the Navy? I talked to my pops a few times about it, joined the Navy, and got shipped off to Chicago for a few months for basic training. I've been to Florida, Virginia, Japan, France, all over Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I did a couple of tours, to the Middle East and everything.
Seen the world.
Yeah, I've seen the world and everything, and that was very uplifting. It was different. I've always been into like travel. When I would go to the library and everything, I've always pick up random books of like different places, like Turkey, Greece, things of that nature. Bouts of depression and mental health is huge in the military, huge. It's like, looking back on it, I kind of asked myself, like, how did I even get through that?
Yeah.
You have this teenager who's been home, with his friends and family, and been able to, ask for help from their parents or friends or, anything. They say just the convenience of being able to reach out to somebody close to you, But being in the military and everything, meeting a stranger, you hope that they like you. Granted, y'all go through boot camp together and everything, and they teach that, oh, hey, this is a brotherhood, you'll be okay. You have my back, I have your back, and this is how we're going to survive through whatever goes on. But that's not always the case. You have people who've never been around such a diverse culture. Okay. They've either just been in the city their whole life, or they've either been in the rural country area their whole life. There's different languages and different language barriers and let's say different. It's like different cultures.
Right.
Even different outlooks on how I talk to you, how I respect you. I met a lot of people from the rural South and everything. They'd be like, yes, sir, no, sir. We don't say that here in Maryland or in DC. In the DMV, we don't say yes, sir, no, sir. So I kind of found it odd, but
yeah.
Later down in life, I understood, like, okay, like, that's that respect that's shown like that, and you get that respect in return.
Right.
Like, no question. Like, it's like, that's no question. It's a little different. I don't know. I mean, we still say yes or no to our parents here and everything, or grown people, adults. But down there, it's like, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
and that's that,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes, no, because they'll look back and be like, you gonna finish the rest of that? And so it's our cultures like that. You got people that never been around Black folks, people who've never been around, Latinos, Native Americans. So it's different. So there's those that got that stigma. They've never been around it. And, sometimes you got to check them. Sometimes people have to be checked real quick. Be like, hey, you can't say that. This is not how people really are. Do your research or listen to them and, get a better understanding of what's going on before you just come out there just saying stuff.
Right.
So there's that. Going out to sea for extended amounts of time. It's not easy. You're away from home. You're away from your family. You're out on the water, and you got to sleep in small beds and stuff. We're talking, 6 by 4.
Right.
It's insane. They call them coffin racks, like coffin beds. Like,
hey. Jesus.
So yeah, so you're sitting in small. So you're confined in small. It's a consistent confined space unless you're outside of the ship or whatever like that. But you're constantly confined. It's like, yeah, you're sleeping in a small bed. The workspace may be a little crammed up, so it's kind of tight. You know, that can be depressing, especially with someone who's used to being out in the open. You know, with space and air and stuff. That can bother. 9/11 was pretty depressing. I experienced that being out there.
Oh, you was out there when that happened?
Yes. I was out there when that happened. It was scary, real scary. Woke up. We're all down there in the cafeteria and everything, and I'm looking at the TV, and I'm assuming that it's a movie. I come to find out it's actually happening. So you had that happen. And, you know, they shut down the email immediately because everybody was trying to hop on their emails and everything. This email was like still brand new during this time.
Yeah.
So they're trying to push out, you know, everybody's trying to hop on their computers and get in touch with their families and everything, but they shut it down because they didn't want nobody to like intercept where we was at and everything, because they figured we was going to be the ones to go out there and, you know, give them payback and stuff or whatever. So we had to deal with that. What else? The confinement of that was pretty tough, with no contact of email, worried about who's alive, who ain't alive.
Yeah.
You know, TV's off. We don't know what's going on, you know, and nobody was giving us information and everything. So that was hard.
Yeah.
How we got through it, you know, they have a chaplain there. You know, I guess he was like you could talk to him and everything, but I didn't bother talking with him. Instead, I just ended up just talking to like my closest coworkers, my shipmates, what we call them, and everything, like our closest buddies and everything. So we just talked each other through it because it was real tough. It was real tough during that time. Another incident, a gentleman, while I was in Japan, had hung himself. And I witnessed that firsthand. Like, that was real tough on me because I couldn't do anything. By the time we saw him, it was too late.
Jeez.
I was just literally just talking to the guy like 5 minutes ago. Like, we was like cleaning up our living quarters. We seen him down there, you know, and he seemed like he was in good spirits and everything. Another guy comes over and he's screaming he's like screaming at the top of his lungs. I don't know what's going on. At first I thought he was playing a joke because, you know, we play jokes and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what are you screaming about? I go over there and the guy is hanging. We get him down and I immediately run to the corpsman and everything to get the corpsman so we can go ahead and bring this guy back because he's done. He's done. Couple of my guys are doing CPR on him and everything. They do bring him back, but he had been up there so long and everything that he was already gone. I dealt with that for weeks. I had a chief of mine. He came in and talked to me and everything, tried to get me through it. We didn't get any type of counseling for that. You know, you say you figured you would get some type of counseling for that. But
At that point, you should, because that's a lot of carrying.
Yeah,
the regular stuff you was already talking about in your childhood, and now you're carrying that, and now you got another scenario. So it's like, I can imagine like having that all in your head at one time. That's a lot.
Yeah. I say it's tough. But yeah, so I've never been to I never gotten a chance to go to a counselor about that. Like I said, I had a chief of mine. He had sat and talked with us and everything. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was it. I kind of like just put it away. I wish I did. I wish I had like went and like got some like professional help instead of just like hearing it from him, you know.
Yeah, that's a lot.
To really get that out and get past that.
Right.
See what else? Oh, the event, the 2012 financial crisis, the housing crisis.
Okay.
Guess when we was going through a recession.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So we have the 2012 recession. Still in the military, right? It comes to a point where there's too many people in the position that I have. So we have these things called ratings. So it's like, oh, so the rating is like the job that you have. So let's just say like you have a bunch of carpenters and you have a bunch of cooks, but there's too many carpenters. So they're like, okay, we have too many carpenters. We're going to have to downsize you guys or let you go. Now, these are career carpenters. These carpenters that did 12, 13, 14 years. Their goal is like, okay, I'm going to do my 20 and I'm going to retire.
Yeah. And they just, oh, man.
So my position, it was like, okay, there's too many of you guys. We're going to have to let you go. But you have the option of changing your job. I took it, and this was my faith speaking, and I took it as, well, if it was meant for me to stay in the military, I would stay in. But I've always told myself that the military is not forever. It's not forever. It's not forever.
Right.
Whether I did my 20 or not, I will never have the age to truly retire. They're like, okay, hey, you did 20 years, find another job. Because I don't have the age. I'm like, I'm way too young to retire really. You know? It's like I'm not gonna get a check.
Yeah.
So there's that. That was the dilemma that I always had. So I took it as, okay. I was like, well, if God wanted me to be in the military forever and go ahead and do my whole 20, then I would do my whole 20.
Yeah.
So, and the jobs that they had available that they were like, hey, well, you can do this job instead. I was like, that's not what I want to do. It's never what I wanted to do. So I opted to go ahead. I was like, okay, well, I can go ahead and just let me go then. So they let me go. They let me go and gave me a $35,000 check, which you would assume is a lot, but it's not a lot whatsoever. 35,000 go just like that.
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
Especially when you have bills and kids and you're trying to keep a roof over your head and so on and so on. So I had to deal with that. I was really angry with the military on like, how did my name even get picked? Be like, oh, hey, you're one of the guys that have to go. I was like, I put so much work into it.
Yeah.
I put so much work into it. I made all these moves and everything to finally get to where I wanted to be, and I excelled at it. And for them to go and just like, well, hey, we want to let you go. I started thinking like, well, what about this guy? He really wasn't, the class act. And what about this guy? Why didn't you pick him? So
it's understandable. Yeah, like why that guy didn't get it? Yeah.
Right. So I started getting really angry and jealous, and it took me a while to get over that. I said I didn't care about the check at all. I even ended up making like bad choices with that, which I thought they were good choices, but they weren't good choices. Ended up moving down to Atlanta, and I spent money on a house down there trying to figure things out, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So I ended up coming back up here, and I ended up staying with my parents for a bit and everything until I got myself together and everything. Which was another case in itself, because I thought things were good up here for my parents, and then I had to help them also.
Okay.
So it's like, oh my God, not only do I have to help myself, I got to help my parents, and it was just racking my brain. It was like I'd be up from sun up to sundown on the computer looking for jobs, and it was a 9-to-5 itself. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
It was a real struggle. I'm like, dang, I'm like 34, 35. I'm saying like 34. Yeah, I'm like 34, 35. I'm like, dang, I'm back at my parents' house. And I told them that I wasn't trying to come back here. And I told
You're like,
so
damn,
I'm beating
right.
myself, so I'm beating myself up with that, like, I told them I wasn't gonna come back. Here I am back, so the thought of failure, I'm like, dang.
Mm-hmm.
Some that they found in the military, I couldn't cut it, so they let me go. Here I go. I couldn't cut it by myself in Atlanta. Now I'm here in my back of my parents, and I told them, and I wasn't right, So,
Okay, got you. Okay.
So it was like I wasn't right when I told them that I wasn't coming back here. I wasn't like I was like, I'm never coming back to Maryland.
At this point, are you feeling like? At this point, you feeling like everything is kind of adding up in a sense? It's like setback. Is that how you were feeling at the time?
All that experience
Mm-hmm.
led me up to here. All that experience led me up to here.
Okay.
It led me up to now. Probably say I let it roll off my shoulders. The chip that I had, I let it go. And it was and like I said, I think that chip that I had on my shoulder was killing.
Okay.
And if I didn't let it go like that, it was gonna keep eating me up. So I had to let that go. Like, you know what? You need to move on. You need to move forward, because I was like, I get it. Okay, you didn't get this. You didn't get this. The world's not stopping. Like, the world's not gonna stop because you failed at this. It's like, okay, try it something else.
Yeah.
I had a GI Bill after I get out the military. I say that's probably one of the good things about being in the military, is that you can go to school while you're in, or after you're out, you can go to school.
Right.
I didn't take it in account that if I went, I didn't take it serious while I was in, to go to school while I was in and everything. It wasn't until like I was with my parents, I decided to go to school. I went to school, picked up culinary arts. That helped me out a lot. Aside from making baked chicken or grilled cheeses and just real basic stuff, spaghetti, okay, whoop-de-doo. But I went to this cooking school. I went to this cooking school. I went to Art Institute at first. Then Art Institute lost their accreditation and everything, and I went to Stratford. But going there and learning like all these cooking techniques, and boom, I was like, oh my God! I was like, I got a new passion. It's a new interest, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And at first, it goes beyond just frying stuff in the pan. It was like I started learning cutting techniques, different wines, what to pair with this food and that food and everything, how to, I don't know, how to marinate certain meats and stuff, or like this is how you cut this meat and so on and so on. Then like the career path started popping up. Like it was like, well, you just don't have to be a chef. Like, you can run your own food truck, or you can be a concierge at a hotel, or you can work on like one of my vacation ships, like a cruise ship. You can be like you work on a cruise ship and everything. So it's like you just don't have to be a chef. There's multiple paths to do this. So so I pushed myself through school and everything, and I got my associates and I got my bachelor's and everything. That was really uplifting and positive. It was definitely positive for my kids, because they was like, oh snap, dad went to college and graduated and everything.
Yeah.
So my son was like, oh, like, hey, I want to be a chef too. So I'm sitting there like, oh, wow. You
Wow,
want to be a
see,
chef?
yeah,
It's hilarious.
that's gotta feel good.
He's pretty sharp. He's pretty sharp with it.
Yeah.
He actually cooked something not too long ago and everything. I was a little concerned at first and everything, but he followed directions to the T, and I had to give him a handshake for it. So
Okay.
so I mean, it's something. I mean, if he's serious about it, I hope that he goes for it for real. Like, I'm with him 100% on whatever he does and everything. And my second is my daughter. She wants to go to art school and everything. But them seeing me go through school and everything, and really push myself, it was definitely a positive impact on them. It left like a really good impact on them. And that in itself makes me proud,
It should. Seeing you push through and going to college and getting your degree, that really inspired me also, to be honest. I'm like, dang, look what my brother doing. I said, I need to get on my shit. So I was like, I need to get on my stuff to the point where I'm actually getting ready to get enrolled in school in a couple of weeks, actually. So that inspires me to get my degree and do what I'm doing. So you never know, like, what you're going through in life. In that process, you finding yourself and finding your path, and you thinking like, oh man, it may seem small to you or whatever, but the next person may be like, dang, look what my brother doing. Your kid's like, dang, look at that. He can do it, I can do it too. And that can inspire the next person. So I'm sure at this point, you find your career, you find your passion. At this point, are you feeling better about certain things in life, or are you feeling good? And after that, at that point?
Yeah. I say I'm feeling good. I say I'm not done. Say I'm feeling good. Yeah. So I'm definitely feeling good about the moves that I made in life and everything. And it's okay. It's all right. And like I said, I'm not done. I'm always trying to find the next thing that I can push. Yeah. Something I can improve on or better myself. I don't know. I've always been that, like, always been that type of person. I'll go ahead and like, oh, let me see this interest. Like, I had a camera and I was taking pictures at one time, and then I saw something about astrophotography, and it was like, oh yeah, you can take pictures of the stars with the camera you have now. And I'm like, what? You mean tell me I don't have to spend a couple $1,000 for a telescope? So
yeah,
I'm sitting on YouTube trying to figure that out and everything. So so I'm always trying to figure out something new.
So, I'm proud of you as one of your brothers that's been in your circle for the past 20 something whatever years. We done had the same circle. We done pretty much motivate each other in the gym and starting a fitness company and starting what I'm doing right now. And you're on your path. My next question is, how important is it to have a great circle with you? Whether it's your friends, your spouse, relatives, whatever.
Man, I say it's good to have a circle around you. I wouldn't say the bigger the better. I really couldn't even say the smaller the better. You gotta have people around you that are on the same page.
Nice.
If we're not on the same, I mean, and that's not mean like, that doesn't mean like I need a bunch of yes men or women around me. It's like, I need you to understand that, like, let's say I'm trying to push for a food truck and everything. Like, I have the support here to say, hey, you should do this for your food truck, or hey, why not go ahead and save this recipe for later that you can push out to people and everything. Not just I say I'm gonna do a food truck and be like, yeah, you should do a food truck. Yeah, you should do a food truck. Yeah, you should. No, like, boost me up. Like
everything you're saying, yeah.
Or say, or if I make a move, or if I try to make an investment, they're like, this bank isn't the smart place to go to. Like, you should go to this bank instead. Not just, yeah, you should do a food truck and go ahead and if I say I'm going to this bank, yeah, you should go to that bank. Like, no, like, if that's not the best spot I should go to, hey, go ahead and let me know. Like, I shouldn't do this. Or if my advertisement is lacking, let me know. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, no, like, For real. Like,
yeah, help me out. Yeah.
Like constructive criticism is something that a lot of people have a hard time dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I had a hard issue dealing with myself at points in time. I'll be like, oh, like you know that's not how you should do that. And I'm like, whatever.
You're like, shut up. You ain't true. Like you did. Oh.
I say it took me growing up and everything to understand that constructive criticism is not bad. Like, it's actually good. And if anything, it'll help improve. You know, it'll help improve.
Yeah.
So
that's a great point, because like I said, we been in the same circle. There's times that you helped me out when I was going through situations dealing with the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, like, me and you in the car together, you give me advice.
Yeah.
Even if it's not what I wanted to hear, but all right, I'll take it. You know, it's like, where's that down?
Right.
Something way better, you know, and just all that support for each other too. We always support each other.
Yeah, I say the support that I got from y'all when you started introducing me into weightlifting, I say that was huge, because I'm like, I don't know how to lift weights. Like, okay, I done did push-ups and did a bench here and there, but like to really lift, like to really like learn, like, this works this muscle, this works this muscle, this is the form that you should be doing. I was like, that was huge. And like, when you had me around those type of people and everything, I was like, okay. I was like, I can do this. And like, it really built up my confidence and everything. And I saw the improvement, you know. So, you know, if there was any concerns from anybody else in the circle on how I was doing things and everything, you know, I took it as it was, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do it this way, like you said, and I saw improvement. So
I remember that. I remember, like, you first came in, like, what do I do? And now it's like, to see you doing your own thing, and see you doing a live video, you boxing. I'm like, look at my brother, man. It's good to watch. You know, you lifting weights, getting more confident. Say, what you lifting? Your mom's, me.
Yeah.
I still look at those videos. It's amazing to watch you grow, man. It's very inspiring. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Our last question is pretty much, you get up in the morning, you're brushing your teeth, washing your face, you know, getting yourself together. You're starting your day pretty much. What motivates you?
Jeez. Well, the hardest thing is getting to work, but
or working from home, whatever the case.
Yeah. So you know what motivates me? Like, it has to be my kids. Like, they really push me to. I really want to show them, like, yo, like, if you really work hard, you can do whatever. Like, you can do whatever. Like, I always try to let them know, like, don't let nobody tell you that you can't do this or stop you from trying to be who you are. Like, just be you and go forward with it. Yeah, I say it's always been my kids. It's always been my kids. I say before they were here, I don't know. I really couldn't answer that question. Like, how did I motivate myself to get it moving? I honestly, it probably was just because I didn't want to get in trouble, you know, by by whoever I was working for. I didn't want to lose my job and things like that. But you know, having them and everything, it's like it's more of a purpose behind it. Yeah. So yeah, I say making sure I'm up and ready to go and everything. And to show them, like, yeah, like, yo, you can do this, and I want y'all to do better than me. Despite, I mean, regardless of how good it looks, like, okay, yeah, I got the car, I got the job, and I get to go places and everything. Like, no, I want y'all to do better than me and do what it is that y'all want to do, you know? No question. Like, Like you ready for the world, you know?
Good point, bro. Amazing interview. I enjoy this.
Let's say thank you.
I'm honored to have you on, man. Just amazing. Thank you for your support, for real. It keeps me going. It really does. It really keeps me going, man. It really does keep me going. And this is brand new. Sometimes it can be scary to be walking your purpose, but
right.
I really appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Well, I say same to you, man. I say I appreciate everything you've done, bro. Everything.
All right. So before we go, tell the audience where to reach you as far as your Instagram, Facebook, or whatever you got going on before we go.
Oh, okay. I have a chef page. It's chef_life_1. That's my Instagram. That's about it. I mean, if y'all want to see my skating projects and my roller skating, I see my roller skating adventures and everything.
He's on day 13, right?
Yeah, day 13. So on Instagram, it's checkmate27. Checkmate27. That's all.
All right.
But yeah, that's it. I can catch up my adventures either cooking or falling.
Then you're gonna be on day 100 and just killing it.
There you go. There you go.
Watch it. Keep watching. Thank you, bro. Hold on once.